Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays.
Welcome to our ASAP friends and family, and to the millions of new viewers watching from across the world. Welcome to the premier channel for all things Lakers content. We are the Lakers Talk One-on-One. I'm your host, Big Phil. I got my man Freddie in the house. How you doing, Freddie? We got Big Time and Jonathan Mathis. Y'all say what's up to the people.
Man, I'm just glad to be here. Free agency has been crazy. The Laker free agency been crazy. And the worst part about it, craziness haven't even really begun yet.
How you doing, Big Time? How you doing, John?
Man, I'm doing well. How about you guys, man? You know what? I'm so excited about all of this free agency stuff. It's been so crazy. I just hope the Lakers do land Kyrie Irving. At first, I was like, I don't know how I feel about that, but I have a good feeling about this, actually.
I think you're actually muted, Big Time. What's up with you? I said, wait one. And before we get started, don't forget, we are brought to you by the ASAP Sports Network, all sports, all plays. If you haven't yet, please like us, subscribe, share. You can find us on all social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube. We're out there. We're sponsored by the AAL American Arena League Alliance. You can find us on Roku TV. Hey, come chill with us, man. We love talking sports. We love to give our passionate, unfiltered takes. Come vibe with us. So, gentlemen, are you back? You back, Big Time?
Yeah, I'm in the building as usual. I'm surprised y'all didn't hear the crowd go crazy because I am here. I'm surprised, but here I am, you know. But oh my goodness, how long do we get? Because this gonna be something else today. Go ahead. I don't even want to waste too much time.
Hey, look, we're taking the lid off this thing today. We're gonna get right into it. So, we've been seeing the rumors. We've been hearing about it, Freddie. What do you think about these Kyrie to LA rumors? Is it legitimate? Is it something to be worried about? Is it going to happen? What you think, man?
Man, let me get something clarified first of all, because there's some people that's going to come from me. First off, I just want to let it be known, I don't care. Come from me, I don't care. You know why they gonna come for me, Phil, Doug, and Jonathan? It's because I criticize Kyrie Irving. Because he don't show up to work, he tends to take days off. He tends not to be all the way straight up top every once in a while. Doug, should I change that word every once in a while to quite often? Let me.
It all of it works right now.
Okay. But I've never criticized his brother of his play. I've never criticized his brother to know that he's one of the best point guards in our game. I've never criticized this brother that he's a big shot taker and a big shot maker. I've never criticized this brother because he's that great of a talent. So if he joins us and if he's all in, that he's committed, bought into the team, this is a wonderful trade. This is the Band-Aid that us Laker fans have been waiting for since the season been over. And I just find it very funny that the national media, everybody and their mama, said the Lakers have no assets. The Lakers cannot improve this roster. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're here. How sweet does the sound of this rumor sounds that we will be able to upgrade our roster, and we'll get into details in a little bit in a minute.
Jonathan, what you got, man? How you
Freddie,
feel about it?
But Freddie, nowadays a lot of these players influence a lot of power, so they could pretty much force their way out of town. And if they really want to be somewhere, they rest assured they can get their wish, And I just have a feeling that Kyrie Irving, by the time it's all said and done, he's gonna be a Laker. He's gonna be wearing the purple and gold, playing alongside his former teammate LeBron James. They're gonna reunite at some point. They're gonna pull this deal off. It's gonna get done. This is where Kyrie wants to be. LeBron wants it to happen. LeBron says he's pushing hard for the Lakers to make this deal come to fruition. So I can see this happening very, very soon. And
John, I gotta ask you a question real quick.
Players, they have a lot of power now.
Can I ask you a question real quick, Jonathan?
What's up?
So do you mean LeBron and Kyrie gonna be singing "Reunited" and it feels so good? Will he be doing that?
I mean, I guess you could say that, right? I mean, it's going to be one of those reunions that we would see with these two, playing together once again. And I think that's what Kyrie Irving needs. I think he needs LeBron James. He needs that guy that's going to keep him in check. And if there's one guy that can do that, it's LeBron James. If there's one guy that can help him stay focused and keep him right, it is LeBron James. I don't see Kyrie Irving taking too many days off. I don't see him missing too many games. I think he'll show up, especially with now who is coaching the Lakers, because Darvin Ham is not going to put up with any of that nonsense.
And Rasheed Wallace is there too.
Right, and Rasheed Wallace is there too. So these guys will definitely, have an impact on, the decisions that he chooses to make. And I think Kyrie Irving wants to be a Laker. I think he can make this. I think the Lakers can make this work. And I definitely think that it's looking good for the Lakers right about now.
We got a comment below before I pass it to Doug. Look, no one's hating Russ, right? I appreciate him for all he did. And we're going to send him away with a nice gift basket too. But what have you done for me lately? You know what I mean? What have you done for me lately? To go in La La Land is championships. I'm just sorry to say that. No hard feelings, Russ. no hard feelings, Russ. We need championships, baby. But look, Doug.
On him.
What did he do? Matter of fact, just let you guys know, Pride is very trolling right now. That's why he's saying the things that he's saying. By the way,
what did he do other than he destroyed team morale?
It's a reason that Kevin Durant wanted to leave OKC to go play with Golden State. And they had Ibaka in his prime. They had Harden coming up. So, I mean, come on now. Hey, Doug, the floor is yours, man.
Okay. First of all, let me talk to my brother Valdez, who just showed that comment. I noticed that you said 2016. I'm quite sure that you are a very intelligent individual. You do realize that this is 2022. So my question to you is, why did you say what he did last year, which is really all we got? And on the record, what he did last year was not good at all. That's just facts. We know it. You know it. Nobody's knocking Russ Westbrook at all. If you've been to this show, previous show, I'm one that has said I still believe he's a great player. He's just not great for the Lakers. See what I'm saying? He still be able to do what you used to seeing him do. Okay, now let me get to the matter at hand, Kyrie Irving. I really don't want to talk about Kyrie Irving. I really don't want to talk about Darvin Ham. Phil, you brought up Rasheed Wallace. I really don't even want to talk about that. The talent of Kyrie Irving is not even worth talking about. Everybody knows what a special player he is. But we also know what a special person that he is. And I'm saying that in a negative way because he ain't rap too tight. Let's just go and get that straight. He's not. He's not. Great player, dominant basketball player, can't be held. We all know they can score, can dribble, all-star, elite, quad blank player. Yeah. But the person that he is what we need to talk about. And that's really not worth to talk about. My point is LeBron James. Because I've checked it already out. I'm gonna bless the brother with some diapers, some bottles, some pacifiers, gonna send him a book of daycareology, some kind of way where he can, because this will be his primary role this year. Uh, LeBron's game is suited enough where he don't mind dropping to a number 3 type option. He can do that. He can do that and still be the guy. This team, if you get a Kyrie and an Anthony Davis, if they're healthy, those would be the number 1, 2, and LeBron James will lead the league in assists this year. I'm going on record saying that he did that a couple years ago. You put Kyrie here, he's going to be lead the league in assists. We all know what it means for him to be the primary point guy on this team. That's the only thing I'm going to say about that. He really is going to be a daycareology because it is him, and you'll hear about this from me just a little bit later, that is knitting his team completely together. He wanted Kyrie. I said no at first, and I'm still saying somewhat no, but it looked like, from what I'm hearing, this is going to happen. And let's just be honest with y'all, everybody. Listen, there ain't no sense of y'all hating. If Kyrie and LeBron and Anthony Davis are your big 3, you're in good hands. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm done. I'm done.
To piggyback off that, I'm gonna answer Chris' question. Chris, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I know when this deal gonna be done. I'm not sure, but we're all just waiting to see.
It gets done sometime today or tomorrow.
Well, we'll see. But to answer, so I'm gonna piggyback off Doug real quick. We agree. Kyrie, AD, Bron is a great problem to have. It is a great 3-headed monster. We'll be one of the best teams. Would have a big 3. We'll see. We know that LeBron and Kyrie can work. We know LeBron and AD can work. I think Kyrie will be a better fit for Anthony Davis than Russ was. But the key thing to this, Doug, Kyrie Irving has to show up to work. He has to show up and play. He can't. If he don't show up to work, then guess what? All these good things that we saying about him is irrelevant. It is irrelevant. And nobody, and I see Mike in the comments, and see, this is where I'm gonna break it down. Us as people on this show that want to be future reporters in the big industry, want to be reporters for ASAP and make this industry big. You have to report what you see, and what we've seen over the last year. And Kyrie Irving is a man that don't want to go to work. Not even just the last year, over time, we've seen a man that do not prioritize basketball as the main thing. Nobody ever said, I know I've never questioned this man's talent. I've never questioned this man's talent. So, Mike, name a time when I ever questioned his talent, please, sir. Name a time when I say, oh, Kyrie Irving's not a good basketball player. Oh, Kyrie Irving's not one of the best scorers in this game. Me questioning his work ethic and him coming to work and his play is two different things. So this year, if he decide to not go to work, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm going to go off on it. But if he go out there and he ball and be the Kyrie Irving that he once was, and go out there and be a key team to help this team win a championship, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to praise that man. Yes, Mike, I did say it. He should have retired. If you're not going to play, then you should retire. What's the point of you playing and you don't show up to work?
And let me piggyback off of you too, Freddie, because a big problem too with the new media, right? We have a lot of analysts that don't really watch games. So Russ, like you and Doug said, Russ is still a phenomenal player, but it's a business and it's about fit. What LeBron-led teams are trying to do is space the floor so that he can go downhill, he can play make, and get the ball in the shooter's hands. Between him AD and Russ, we didn't have that. And to be honest, Kyrie, I can guarantee you all, Kyrie isn't our first option for a star player. I would rather have Bradley Beal, but it's not the way the cards are going to fall. So we got to settle for who we can get. And one of those guys just happened to be Kyrie Irving. And while he may be have a few screws loose in the head, and I apologize for offending anyone, but he's a phenomenal on-court player. And when he shows up, the combo between him and LeBron is unbeatable. It's just unbeatable. Then you add in a healthy AD, a motivated AD. Now we're cooking with Crisco. But our biggest problem to me, Freddie, is that it won't be our big three. It'll be our depth. Any of the issues that LeBron James teams have had when trying to reach a championship is a lack of depth behind those big three. So I guess my question to you guys now is that who do we acquire to kind of help when LeBron needs a break, when AD needs a break, when Kyrie can't play for whatever reason? How do y'all feel about that?
But hold on, Phil. I want to address something. I want to ask Doug a question. Doug, you watch basketball, sir. Did Kyrie Irving play all of last year?
No, and we got to be fair to Kyrie on that part. It was not by choice.
Mm-hmm.
It was by force. The New York State said that if you were not vaccinated, you could not play in New York. So,
but he did have an option, though, right?
Game. Say it again.
But he did have an option, though, right?
He had an option to get vaccinated, but I'm not going to. I mean, I got 3, so I mean that's me. But he got in. He didn't get in it, and that was his choice. And that choice inevitably hurt the team. See, I've always said that it's not about you, but in team sports, whether you're talking about it's my body, and I don't want to get political here, but when you're in team sports, your choice hurts the team. That's what happened in Brooklyn. It destroyed the team, actually. But that was his choice. That's what he wanted for his body. God bless him. And the price is being paid through the media because of that choice. James Harden left while the season was going because of that choice. KD now wants to leave once he signed, say, I don't even want to play with this dude, pretty much because they are saying he gave up on the team. You left us here. We came here with you to do this special thing. You were the first one to bail out. Now, I'm just saying that's his choice. But when he was allowed to play on the road, other than a couple of injuries that he had, he was there. An interesting thing would have been the what if question would have been, what if New York would have had the mandate lifted where he could play? And then some of this stuff that we're talking about, then we could have found out, but we'll never know that.
No. Okay. So, and I just want to ask Phil a question. Phil, as much as I criticized Kyrie Irving, I criticized Russell Westbrook, but it is our job to criticize what we see, add up the report what we see. Now, when Kyrie Irving go out there and he plays good, he balls out this year, I have the right to analyze it, right?
Correct.
Okay. Okay. We can continue the show. I just needed to go over a few things real quick. I'm sorry.
Hey, so Porter Hayes had a comment. I think he brought up LeBron's legacy if they don't win. And I hate those legacy comps because the guy's been playing for almost 20 years at an elite level, right? He has his rings. He's brought multiple teams to the finals. There isn't anything that he can do or not do that's going to tarnish his legacy. How do y'all feel about that? About the GOAT comparison, about legacies and stuff like that.
Do you want me to get it first? Real simple. Okay, this is not funny. I know I kind of crack jokes and everything, but this is not funny. To this day, ladies and gentlemen, for those who feel that way about LeBron, and I personally have never really been a fan of LeBron. That's me. I'm a Kobe guy. When they was calling him the king, I was one that's saying, how are you calling this man the king, but he ain't got no crown? You don't have a championship. How are you the king? That's what I was saying, and why they were calling him the king. If y'all remember those commercials with Kobe and LeBron, they were waiting, trying to see if LeBron and Cleveland could make the finals to meet Kobe. It never happened. How in the world can you be a king when somebody else is wearing the crown? So I said that to say this, but I'm not saying LeBron is not a great player. See, I don't have to be a fan. I know what he is. He is an all-time great player. Prove my point for those that are saying he's not this and that. It's very simple. To this day, he's played for 3 franchises. All 3 won championships, and he was the main guy. So that, I mean, what are y'all? What are you saying? This dude, wherever we went, he's a world champion. So, ain't nothing
My
else to talk
thing
about.
is on that brother's legacy is already set. What he's done for
Exactly.
the game of basketball, you can't take that away from him.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, it's already done. If anything, he can add to it. I mean, if championship, he's adding to it. This brother, what he does for on the court and off the court. I mean, just think about this, you guys. He was a kid at 18 years old with the camera all on him, with all this, I mean, at the fame and all that, I mean, was on him at a very young age. He got criticized at a very young age. A lot of people look up to him um, for when things happen outside of basketball that he got to stand up for. And hey, pretty much most of it he stands up, for the right causes. This is a guy that have exceeded expectations. This is a guy that most of his career he's always on the winning side of his career. That might not lead to a championship, but you know, hey, we're talking about, he's in the finals. I mean, he's been to 10 finals. So, you know, but at the end of the day, his legacy set.
Jonathan, before you answer this question, I want you to answer this question from Mike Hughes right quick. The question was, why add Kyrie? Russ brought ego and issues with his work ethic, and you guys want to replace him with a guy with even more work ethic and mental issues. Sounds like fixing a problem with a problem. I disagree with that. Before I rebuttal, Jonathan, what you feel about that?
Well, I feel that Kyrie Irving's a better all-around player.
You next, Doug.
Kyrie Irving, like I've said numerous times, when he's on, he's on.
Mm-hmm.
And when he's playing basketball, to the highest degree, he's unstoppable. He really is. Look, this guy might be the best ball handler in the league. This guy is one of the most clutch performers in the league when he is actually playing the game. Like I said, if he shows up to the building and, he's having one of those nights where he's just, single-handedly carrying his team on his shoulders, then there won't be much of a problem. So no, I don't really see a comparison there. Russell Westbrook is more of a selfish type player in a sense. This is a guy who misses a lot of shots. Kyrie Irving makes a lot of shots when he's having one of his explosive and offensive scoring nights. And we've seen that with Kyrie Irving. So no, I think Kyrie Irving's a better fit for this Laker team for 2 reasons. He's a true floor general. When he's not pouting and acting like a baby, when he's acting like an adult. And secondly, he's teaming up with LeBron. And the last time those two played together, what happened? They won an NBA championship. So there you go.
And real quick before Doug goes, and this is very loosely speaking, I mean, we're trading passion for skill. I say loosely because Russell Westbrook is an immensely skilled player, but it's 2 different styles, like you're saying, Jonathan. It's 2 different styles.
Right.
I don't think you can question the work ethic of either guy, Kyrie or Russ, because they're both incredibly skilled. It's just what fits right. What you got, Doug?
Real simple. To answer your question, Mike, this really does not have anything to do with on the floor.
Thank you.
What this really has to do with is what I said in my opening take. This really is about the power, once again, of LeBron James. Jonathan just kind of tapped on it a little bit. What you're banking on is, and there are reports that LeBron and Kyrie have already talked. It's already out there. Kyrie knows what he is going to have to do, not on the basketball court, but up here and outside, to join LeBron James' team. There's no question who the leader of this team is. He don't even have to come in and worry about that. Everybody knows who the leader of this team is. That pressure, it will not be on him. Really, he can just come in and play basketball. He is not going to be the number one guy. That's that, and what you're banking on is that the power of LeBron will keep this thing knitted together just like this. That's all. That's really what that's all about, and that's what LeBron James has done. Now, as far as basketball court goes, here's the track record of Kyrie. He's played with LeBron. There was no on-court influence or bad problems with that. He's played with Kevin Durant. He knows how to play the game with a superstar. And then most of all, the track record shows that he knows how to play with LeBron James. So it's comparing Kyrie to Russell is quite different. Kyrie can adjust to playing with stars. Russell Westbrook cannot be comfortable as anything other than a number one and possibly a number two. When he came to LA, he was destined to be the number three guy. That is not what Russell Westbrook is. He cannot do that. Kyrie will not be a number three option here because, as I said earlier, LeBron James will lead the league in assists this coming up year because his game can go to a number three with the occasional I'll take over parts during the game. And if he's really on, he'll take over one game out of 5. This is all about Kyrie and AD. LeBron can adjust to any game that you come up with. He's going to lead the league in assists this year.
I want to piggyback off that real quick. I want to piggyback off that real quick. Doug, you're absolutely, positively correct. It has nothing to do with on the court. It's about off the court. So when we're talking about the two, Kyrie Irving is the better fit. Let's not, ladies and gentlemen, let's not sit here and act like we forgot the type of season Russell Westbrook had. I mean, we look at the numbers. Oh, he averages 18, 7, and 7. Let's go to that field goal percentage. Let's go to that three-point field goal percentage. Let's
turnovers.
Go to the turnovers. Let's go to the defense. Could he guard anybody? Let's look at all of that. Let's look at the guy. I mean, we brought in a guy who was supposed to make it easier for LeBron, where Russ can be that guy. But guess what? Russ didn't have that great year. I mean, he had such a bad year, you guys. He would shoot the ball on the side of the basketball goal. I mean, you just can't make that up. He will bring the ball up court, and all of a sudden he'll lose it out of his hands, and it just goes out of bounds. I mean, you cannot make these things up. But now so Mike, to answer your question, my brother, we know what Kyrie and LeBron can do. We know what Kyrie Irving can do on the court with LeBron. We've seen it happen. This guy is not going to play as bad as Russell Westbrook. That's not going to happen. The only concern is come with Kyrie is off the court. And then when you're the Lakers, then you just seen the type of season that Russell Westbrook just had, guess what? You're willing to try anything. All that you can do is say a little prayer and pray to that LeBron, Ham, or anybody else can control Kyrie Irving. Make sure they control the situation where it do not get out of hand. That's because so just think about this. You bring back Russell Westbrook, a guy that's paid $47 million. You literally can do nothing. Let's get a little bit deeper in this trade, and I don't know where Philip is going with these debates, but there's talks about either a Joe Harris a part of this deal or a Seth Curry, and I expect other things to come with it as well. I'm just going to leave it at that, and I'm giving the show back to you, Philip.
And let's touch on that availability part for Kyrie Irving, because honestly, I feel like we're overstating his lack of availability, and we're understating LeBron James, his role and his friendship with Kyrie. Remember, Kyrie's mentor was Kobe, the late Kobe Bean Bryant, and rest in peace. But outside of Kobe, LeBron James was the closest guy to Kyrie Irving, and he was able to connect with him to get him to focus on basketball. But take away those 2 years from Brooklyn, right? Take away those 2 years from Brooklyn How many games have Kyrie missed in his career? How many off the court issues have we heard about from Kyrie Irving? I'm sure there's some things that weren't reported, but like we haven't. There's no history of issues with Kyrie Irving not being available until he got to Brooklyn, until COVID hit, until he started trying to find himself away from basketball. So I'm not even worried about that. Honestly, I'm worried about who's going to come up off the bench to be that sixth man for us. You know, who's going to come give us those depth pieces to help us have a full, complete team. But how do y'all feel about Kyrie's availability or lack thereof? Is that going to be a bigger issue or not really?
We just got done talking about it. I mean, I
Only
don't think
time
so.
to tell.
I don't. I'm gonna be real. Hold on. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think so. I truly hope not, because if he comes to LA and that becomes a problem, you know, just because he want to take time off, I'm not talking about injuries, because injuries are part of basketball. I'm just talking about when he want to take. If he does that this year, Kyrie Irving might find himself out the league pretty soon. Because there's teams that really don't want to deal with him right now. So I don't think, me personally, I don't think it's going to be a problem. I think he'll be balled in. That's why, at least I'm hoping that's going to be the case. You know, but that's just my opinion, and we'll talk about the rest in a few.
All right. Well, yeah, let's move over to the draft, like post draft, summer league. So, we signed a few guys to our summer league roster. We know the big names, obviously, Sharif O'Neal, a Hollywood legacy, Scottie Pippen Jr. We still have Mac McClung from last year. I don't know if Austin Reeves is playing this year in the summer league, but we got him on the roster for right now. So how do you guys feel about our youth movement? Do we pick up some good pieces? Are we in a good position moving forward, or what do you guys think? We also signed Lonnie Walker, who was a lottery pick from San Antonio. So, I mean, he was a upside wing. How do you guys feel about that? Start with you, Jonathan.
You know what? These kids got potential that's coming up. It seems like it. I mean, I haven't really seen a lot of Scottie Pippen Jr., but I've read a lot about him, and it was a game that he participated in yesterday, and he looked pretty good. He looked pretty good from what I saw. And then Sharif O'Neal, I got to see more on him before I can really evaluate him and really say what I want to say about him. That's Shaq's son, so it's the name. It has a lot to do with the name. But hey, I like the Lonnie Walker signing. I think that's a great pickup for the Lakers. He's a good shooter when he wants to be. I like that move. I think the Lakers have done a good job, signing some of these guys to 1-year deals. So I like it. I like the Lonnie Walker signing. Scottie Pippen Jr., I like his potential. And, I think, we do definitely have a youth movement. But how long will that youth movement stay in one place? Because the Lakers, they would, trade away those young assets just to win now. And
in a heartbeat.
Right. And we see that year after year after year. So you can't make too much of it. But you do see a lot of promise.
What you got, Freddie?
I just love the fact that last year everybody's calling us the nursing home, calling us the old folks home and all that. And what did the Lakers do the draft, do the first day of free agency? They got younger. Right now, LeBron and Russ is the two oldest players on the roster at 30 years of age. Everybody else is 21, 22, 23. I like that kid Cole that we signed. He didn't get picked up in the draft. That kid, he can shoot, man. He shot 41% in college, and in the our first summer league game, it showed that he can score. Scottie Pippen Jr., I will say this: I don't think our only player I think that can get some playing time will be Cole, but I'm gonna say this: if Scottie Pippen Jr. continue to lights it up in summer league, and he can show the Lakers that he can be what he's shown the first game, that he can be a guard that can go around screens, he can score. I would not be surprised if he takes minutes from some players, because we're gonna have to find players to fill this bench to go around whoever the big three will be. If that's Russ or that's Kyrie, no matter who it is, and Cole, we got a dude by the name of Anthony Davis, and we know that street clothes, he might go down for a couple of games. He might go down for a week, and we might need somebody to fill those shoes. So he might be forced to get some playing time. I do like us getting Lonnie Walker, a young kid. He played defense. He's a guard that he don't mind going down play defense. He is streaky at shooting, but he can knock it down once he get hot. I do like that. And Troy Brown Jr., same thing, athletic guy, a guy that plays defense. And then the Anderson kid from Golden State, I believe that he's going to be our energy guy to come off the bench, give us some big plays here and there. I think he'll be nice as well. And he played defense. It showed to me that the Lakers went all in on defense. For this free agency, the first wave, they did say the second wave is going for 3-point shooting, which is Kyrie Irving's on top of this list. And they have others. They mentioned a Buddy Hield or Eric Gordon. That's if that trade don't go through with Kyrie. So I like our free agency so far, me personally.
Hey, Doug, on top of your evaluation of our younger guys, how do you feel about THT? Do you think we overvalued him? Because he's been with us for a few years now, and he really hasn't seen that big of an uptick in production per se. But I mean, has he been getting many minutes? I don't know. But how do you feel about him along with our younger guys?
Well, when it comes to THT, I think that you still have to understand, he's a rhythm type player. You're not going to get a lot of rhythm when you're playing with LeBron James and a Anthony Davis, even a Russell Westbrook. You're just not going to get the rhythm that you need. He's not a streaky type guy, but what he can do, he can score. And personally, I don't want to see him go. I mean, he is my fraternity brother in Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. Let me throw that in. No doubt about that. I want him to stay, but at the same time, I believe he's going to be the odd man out. And that ties into the original question with all the guys that we signed. Most of these guys that we picked up play his position.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't come in for, just to automatically come off the bench. Even if THT is in the rotation higher, he's going to be sharing some of his minutes with these guys because THT is not known as a great defender. Darvin Ham came in here preaching that we got to have defense. He went out, or Rob Pelinka, I know it ain't Rob, but I'm just saying he's going to get credit for it. But Darvin Ham went out and got defensive guys. That's what he went out and got. When you look at Lonnie Walker, good Lord, I mean, he's a two-way player. He can light you up and he can play D. Then when we go to a name that you guys haven't called that I absolutely love, and that's Damian Jones, the center. This guy is a nasty, athletic, dunk on you, defensive type guy who I think fits in, super athletic, can get up in the air. This is the guy that we need as far as, he's a bigger version of Montrezl Harrell, if you ask me. Just full of energy, can flat out go up and go get the ball. Gonna be plenty of lobs up this year. And I mean, he's the guy that got and get it. Plus, he played good defense. When you talk about Troy Brown, the one thing that nobody has said about Troy Brown, and in my little studying of him, the man got a 6'10" reach. He's 6'6" with a 6'10" reach. Can you say a wing defender?
No fly zone.
I mean, he's a primarily defensive player. So these guys are big. When we talk about Anderson from Golden State, he can
love
score.
him.
I mean, he got a great game. It's just that on Golden State team, you're not gonna find too many minutes. It's just that simple. It don't mean he can't play. It's just that he just wasn't gonna get the minutes. And then, of course, when you talk about Malik Monk gone, okay, now we got to find guys to kind of replace that because Monk could score. I think we've done an outstanding job with finding guys who can fit the roles because they're not coming in to be the man and they're not coming in to be the sixth man of the year. You have a specific role on this team, do it. And I think that they've already started. Darvin Ham needs to be commended for the immediate change. We're more athletic today than we have ever been probably in the last 2 years, to be honest with you, the last 2 seasons. So I'm down with what we got so far. Good role players. And like Phil said, there's another name that's going to make his appearance sooner or later, and that's Max McClung, man. Let me tell y'all something. Let me tell
like
y'all
that
something.
boy.
Let me tell y'all something, man. Sooner or later, this kid need to be called up.
He's
He
nice.
is incredible. You hear
Hard.
me?
Bunch of
He
heart.
got it all, man. I'm serious. I've looked at Scottie Pippen Jr. and I must apologize to him because I said I'm not getting excited over no big names or your daddies. I ain't for all that. But Scottie Pippen Jr. can play. Sharif, come on, man. He all right, but if he plays, he's gonna be at the end of the bench as of now. That's the only thing I'm
And
saying.
one name we didn't bring up, Freddie, before you speak, is from last year, Stanley Johnson, right? The 4th overall pick a few years ago from Detroit. That boy came on strong for us last year. Defense,
great
cutting
defense
to the basket. So I mean, like you said, we're getting more athletic. We got the wing defenders. Now it's on these last few pieces to bring it all together. You got it, Freddie.
Yeah, I did. They did report big time. Just to clarify the Rob Pelinka point you brought up, that Darvin Ham elected not to go to Summer League, just to stay in LA with Rob, so he can help build that roster. Because I see Ray down here talking about we need to give Rob Pelinka more credit. Where's that?
Rob
I'm gonna
Pelinka
tell
don't know
you.
nothing about no basketball, man.
I'm gonna be honest with you. If it's my opinion, Rob Pelinka will be out of LA. I'm just stating my opinion, but
I don't think the Lakers have empowered him to make the personnel decisions. I think it's other people within the organization helping him make those personnel decisions.
Jonathan,
it's not totally.
We gotta believe the brothers. We gotta believe that brother what he said. Didn't he say every decision comes down to me? I make the last call. So
I don't necessarily agree with that though.
You don't think that's true?
No, I don't think that's true. I'm
believing the man, but the man said that is
he's not making
Freddie, you know
call.
better than that. You know good way that man made no decision. When he got there, Magic Johnson made the decision. When Magic left, LeBron James made the decisions. When LeBron left, he called him. When he did have something to do with it, look where we at today. Man, get him out of there.
No,
that's what I'm saying.
It's a combination of everyone involved.
Hey, Doug, that's what I'm talking about, brother. Like when we see them guys are gone. Hey,
it's LeBron having some input. It's Jeannie Buss having some input. It's everybody. Kurt Rambis, Linda Rambis.
Exactly. So we're not like just purposely saying, "Hey, Rob, don't get your flowers." It's that it's hard to see who gets the credit when you got 10 GMs on one team. I don't know who's in charge.
There you go.
I'm giving Darvin
Ham something to say about that too.
Hell, Phil Jackson even has some power.
Man, right, I got power. I put something in, they did mine. Y'all just didn't know it. Go ahead.
Phil Jackson over here saying, I got
the power. Hey, look. Before we move on, y'all, we're going to head to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back, so stay tuned.
Get ready. This summer, the Arena League Sports is on ASAP Network. Tune in live on either the Tiki Live or Roku app, as well as your smart home TV.
You got the commercial ready?
Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays.
There, YM.
Everything good, Freddie?
Hello.
So while Freddie's doing that, we have one more. We had a comment from Anthony Price. Says LeBron shouldn't have an input at all. Just play the game and let the office sign people. Look, clearly that hasn't worked for a lot of franchises in the past by just having non-basketball players. If I get it though, right? Everyone has a role, but LeBron is arguably one of the brightest minds that the sport of basketball has ever seen. If we're not including his input, then something's wrong right there.
Right. And again, a lot of these players nowadays, they have input. You know,
Exactly.
that's how the league is today. It's totally different from how it was back in the day. You know, more of these players nowadays, they have influence, and the owners empower them to, you know, have a say, have their own voice, and state how they feel about the franchise, and what they may want, and who you know, might be a best fit around them or something like that. So I mean, that's just how it is now in today's NBA.
It definitely
Look,
gives me
look,
some of those. Go ahead, Doug.
come on, y'all. Look, the basketball IQ of LeBron James should never be questioned. How many years in a row did Cleveland go to the finals? LeBron got rid of coaches. LeBron changed rosters after the All-Star break every single year. Every year. He changed rosters. I mean, after the All-Star break, he told them, this is who I need. This is the type of player. What happened? They went to the finals. They hung a banner up in the air as world champions. Now, he didn't have that power in Miami because Pat Riley don't let you run over him for nothing. So we ain't even talking about Miami years. But when he came to LA in 2 years, this man, it wasn't coach, what's the coach got fired? The Indiana coach? I don't even
Frank
recognize it.
Vogel.
What's his name?
Luke Walton.
No, Luke
Frank Vogel.
Vogel. Vogel
Vogel,
didn't
yeah.
run nothing. LeBron James went and said, give me this guy, go give me this guy. This is who I need. We'll win the championship. What did he do? He won the championship. So
Delivered.
I don't know how we even question it. This man have been to how many finals? 10? And he's been the orchestrator of a lot of rosters. So let's stop that now. Come on now. He knows
You know,
what
my
he's doing.
input. My bad. My input is, listen. LeBron can put his input in who he think the Lakers should go get. That don't mean they're going to go get him. And I mean, he should have an opinion. Anthony Davis should have an opinion because these are guys that they have to play with. So, hey, LeBron, what do you think? Who do you think we should go after? Thank you for the input. We'll put it on the drawing board, and guess what? We'll sit back and we'll make the right decision for the franchise. Kobe did it. Kobe might wasn't opening as LeBron is, but I guarantee you, the Laker management did not get anybody that they did not run by Kobe.
He said that the Heat gets the ring without LeBron's input. You had
Oh,
LeBron, D Wade, and Chris Bosh. Like I don't.
Hey,
No,
they did.
I
Hey,
don't know about that.
hey, guess what? Check this out. If they didn't have LeBron input, where did Chris Bosh come from? Just saying.
not only
You want
that,
Ray Allen?
let's have common sense. Without LeBron James there, they would not have beat the Spurs back then.
No.
Let's just stop it. LeBron was the king, you know, the over the hump guy to take care of the Spurs, who was still dominant at that time. Come on now.
Right,
not-
and he had leg cramps when the AC apparently broke down in the building, and he still balled out.
Let's keep it really real. The Heat weren't winning anything after that one championship with Shaq. I mean, they were going to the playoffs, but they were first round Ziggies the whole until LeBron showed up. So
and that's with
a
a
100
and that was with an in prime D Wade.
in prime D Wade.
Come on
The
now.
Flash.
Come on now.
Man.
And I ain't no LeBron James fan now. I don't want y'all to think I am. But see, just because you're not a fan, y'all got to stop. Look, I don't know who y'all are. Y'all stop being haters, man. This dude
Look.
is the truth. And it's been the truth for 20 years. This dude is the truth, man. I ain't no fan of, I mean, I'm a fan because he's a Laker, but I've never been a gigantic fan of him. But you cannot deny what this dude is and what he has done now. Come on, y'all. Stop that.
Hey, that's a good point, Doug. So for the ones watching at home, right? I can almost guarantee you, myself, Freddie, Jonathan, Doug, we're all Lakers fans and maybe Kobe fans first. But none of us are like LeBron fans. We support him because we support our team. So we promise you, you're getting unbiased reporting
Yeah.
from us. We just want to see our team do
Hey,
good, like the rest of the fans.
before LeBron came to LA, I respected his game, but he wasn't my favorite player. But when he came to LA and when he embraced Laker fans the way he did when Kobe died, when he stood up and said that speech, I gained so much respect for him. Because that honestly, that was the first time LeBron really embraced Laker faithful in public like that. And when he did that, that
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 did it
gave
for me
that
too.
gave me so much respect.
Nah,
That
If
did
y'all
it
don't,
for me too. That did it for me. And when he opened, I promise the school.
but
That
look, remember when we first signed LeBron, a lot of Lakers fans were actually angry when he signed to us. A
Yep.
lot of us didn't want that, but then Kobe came out in public and said, "Hey, hold up, I support him. He's part of the family, guys. Let's hold it down for him." Once Kobe gave us the pass, I was like, "All right, Brian, let's see what you do."
y'all calling out Kobe when Magic Johnson said it's okay. Then
See,
that's when I crossed over. So I was with Magic. I ain't forget Kobe. I love Kobe, but good God, when Magic turns over the keys and says, "Okay, I'm gonna let you have the keys to this franchise," that was good enough for me. But ladies and gentlemen, I know Laker fans are just greedy. The Dallas Mavericks are still celebrating that one championship they won with Dirk. They still celebrating. Laker fans are greedy, and I understand that. But here's the truth: LeBron James put a banner up in the rafters. He paid his debt. He promised a championship when he came here. He did it. I mean, ain't nothing else. We just greedy. We want back to back to back. That's how Laker fans are.
we
We want
spoiled,
back. I mean, that's just how we are. We want back to back to back to back. All that. This is not how the ball game works. This man has been to 3 franchises. The last one, he came to LA. He did what he said he was gonna do. And really, nobody, I mean, he put it up in the air, y'all. And I ain't no
Hey,
fan
Doug,
of
you
him,
know
but
who don't do
he is
that? You
what
know who
he is.
don't live up to their promise? Kevin Durant. Oh, did that come out?
Mm.
My bad. I didn't mean to say that. I didn't mean to say that.
Ooh-wee.
That's
Well,
true.
look,
And
Freddie.
I just heard a rumor, a crazy rumor. You guys won't believe this. Him
I
possibly
already
going
know.
back to the Golden State Warriors. And you know who's in the package deal? Jordan Poole, Andrew Wiggins, and I forgot the two other
I
players.
think it
I'm
was
not
Wiseman and Kumunga. I think.
Yeah, but why would you give away those players when you already have a team that could run it back?
Jonathan, let me
That
tell
Because
don't
you're
you
make
this.
sense.
greedy. You're
No,
greedy.
But
You're
that don't make
Jonathan,
greedy,
sense
Doc.
though.
Jonathan, let me tell you this, brother.
You don't
If
fix
we,
something when it's not broken.
John, let me tell you this. If Kevin Durant came out and said, "I want to come to the Lakers," I can guarantee you Anthony Davis' name will be a part of that.
Ah,
Oh, I
I
can
don't want Kevin Durant.
guarantee you.
I like Kyrie Irving. I'm
I
okay with Kyrie Irving.
guarantee
I
you, if
can handle
Kevin Durant
Kyrie.
said, "I want to go to LA,"
No,
Anthony
I can handle
Davis'
Kyrie Irving,
name.
but I can't deal with Kevin Durant.
Jonathan,
Can't.
please, Jonathan.
It's hard
If
for
you
me to
want
trust
to,
that
look,
brother.
Jonathan,
It
see
really is.
that right there. This is what I'm talking about, Jonathan. And I love you, brother. I do. But see, this is what we're talking about. We talking about on the court. If you had the choice of giving Kevin Durant and Anthony Davis, you would be the first going to Anthony Davis' house and start packing them and
Look,
getting them
I will
ready for
carry
the
his bag
airport.
to the
You
airport
know
for
that.
him.
So let's stop that now. Stop it.
I don't know, man, because Kevin Durant, man, he can't stay put. That's the problem I have with him.
And the Davis can't stay on the court. Like I said, you'll be the first one to go start packing
That's
immediately.
true.
Stop
That's
it.
true. He can't stay
Look,
on the court.
can you blame Golden State? You brought up a good point, Jonathan. Right, as they're built right now, and if you factor in Wiseman and Kamungi being better next year, they can win the championship next year. But you're talking about going from a really great team to an unstoppable team, bro. Talking about Steph Curry and KD on the same floor again with a healthy Clay. That's tough, man.
Yeah,
That's tough.
that's a tough
Hey,
team to beat.
I'm gonna tell you like Shannon Sharp said, because they said, you remember how they said Lakers gave up too much for AD? Shannon Sharp said you will move heaven and hell to get a man like that. KD's in that same conversation, my brother. And you know what? I'm just laughing. In our little group chat here at ASAP, we got these little Phoenix fans. They're so happy. Oh, KD. But they were the same ones calling the Lakers crazy for giving up all that for Anthony Davis. Where is the consistency?
The way it's looking right now, KD might end up in Philly.
Well, so here's the real question, right? So earlier in the segment, we broke down the Kyrie to LA rumors. We spoke about it ad nauseum, right? But we never really unpackaged that to discuss who would we trade to get Kyrie to make it happen, or even discuss the potential rumors of a package trade with Kyrie and KD. So, Freddie, Doug, Jonathan, realistically speaking, who can we give away in order to get Kyrie without hurting our team too much? Or who would you be willing to give away?
Well, Russ is he's number one. He is definitely number one. THT gonna be number two.
He's out of here, huh?
Yeah, he's number two.
Yeah.
Me personally, I don't care who you take out of none of our new guys, Brian, AD, but I just don't want our draft picks to be gone. That's my main thing. We need to stop giving draft picks away. The Nets are desperate. They don't want Kyrie there already. So why are we going to give them a busload with a guy that's already came out and said that he's coming here?
Well, let me give you some pressure, Freddie. Let me give you some pressure. I'm the Nets, right? I'm the Nets. If you want Kyrie, give me AD. What are you saying?
Have a good night. Good night. We'll see Kyrie next year as a free agent.
Look, it's going to be a massive haul because, look, Sean Marks is going to want a lot in return. Sean Marks is going to want a lot in return. And he's working on a deal right now to get KD out of there. But, he's definitely going to want some future assets.
Let me throw this in. It may not be I'm just coming from the other side. And you make sense, Jonathan, what you're saying, and everybody is, but it may not be as cost as much as we may be thinking, because the Lakers want to get rid of Russell Westbrook, and the Brooklyn Nets want to get rid of Kyrie Irving. In other words, what I'm trying to say, headache for headache.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're really desperate to try to get rid of somebody, your asking price may not be as crazy. And Russell Westbrook, again, still has value. I don't care what nobody say. I still think that he can flat out do it. It would be a perfect place for him, actually, because KD gonna be gone, Kyrie possibly be gone, Ben Simmons will be there. You'll have that problem. One don't like to shoot, and the other one love to shoot. So I'm saying it's a perfect fit where he can go be the man again. He'll make the all-star team. He'll average a triple-double again. It's the perfect spot for him. And when you want to get rid of somebody, it may not cost as much as you think. I think they'll trade away THT now because of what we required in free agency. I believe he'll be part of the deal. But at the same time, the Lakers are going to get something back in return too, which is either Joe or Seth. And like I said before, the roles, that's a role that we need. Somebody can flat out knock down some shots. That's what it's going to take. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's just that simple. Russell, Kyrie, Joe Harris, or Seth, simply for Russell and THT. Maybe a draft pick out of that. I'm serious. They really want to get rid of them. They don't want. Okay. Andy Price saying they made it clear they don't want Westbrook. Well, one thing we know for sure, it may take a 3-team deal. Okay, it may very well take a 3-team deal if that's the case. But Kyrie and Russell Westbrook will not be on the same roster starting next year. We know that.
And listen, to piggyback off Doug, there's a reason why, if you guys didn't notice, there's a report this morning. It said the Philadelphia 76ers are interested in Kyrie. Then it said the Dallas Mavericks. Though they're not interested. That's strictly coming from Brooklyn because they're trying to make LA scared. They trying to make LA give up the load. We all know this about being Laker fans. There's no team in the NBA that is trying to make the Lakers better. There's no team in the NBA that's going to help us. We've seen that with the Anthony Davis situation. They're not trying to make us better. So they're scared right now because Joe Harris would not be a bad addition, but the thing is the Lakers don't want to take on that contract. Seth Curry's cheaper, and Seth Curry is better. But then, I mean, at the end of the day, I do believe the deal is going to be done. And
I'll
I can
throw this
see.
in, Freddie.
Mhm.
Let me throw this in, which is the reason why the Los Angeles Lakers. See, maybe I'm cursed a little bit because I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. And one thing the Cowboys do, as well as the Lakers, we don't know when to be quiet. Don't say nothing. Just get the deal done. You ain't got to put it. I don't need no leaks. I don't need nobody that's giving good reports to maybe one of your friends who has a national platform. Be quiet and just get the deal done. Stop putting it out there because somebody who really gonna throw the world at them and snag them away. I mean, it's just as simple. Just learn how to be quiet. If you want them, go under the radar. Stop leaking stuff out. Be quiet and get the deal done. I don't stop talking. That's all I'm saying.
But at the end of the day, Kyrie Irving has the pressure on them. They don't want Kyrie. To be honest with you, they didn't want Kyrie from day one. And Kyrie has made it be known. There's a reason why Stephen A. Smith went on ESPN this week saying that he is telling people he's going to LA at the end of next year. That was said for a reason. Kyrie is saying these little things for a reason. He is scaring other teams away. Because why would you give up assets for a man that's going to be a year rental? Just like when we got AD, you guys, Boston had a better trade for Anthony Davis, but Boston was not willing to unleash him for a part-time player, for basically a 1-year rental. They was not willing to do that. Same situation.
Man. Well, however you want to slice it, the NBA is better when the Lakers are at the top. Yes. At the end of the day, the NBA is better when LA's at the top, when Boston's at the top, and when the pecking order is as such. So let's say we have one of our last topics. Let's say we have a core of Anthony Davis, LeBron, Steph or Joe, and Kyrie. Where does that put us as far as the pantheon or the rankings of the Western Conference? Does that put us in the top 1 through 5 places, or are we still fighting for a playing seed?
Hell no. We're at the top.
We're more favored than Golden State, or what you thinking, Jonathan?
I would think so. With Kyrie, if Kyrie and LeBron and AD is together, all on the floor together and healthy, yeah, we're definitely at the top. Golden State is close, but I would put Golden State at second.
I'm gonna just tell you like this: if we was able to get Bron, Kyrie, and KD to play together, it wouldn't even be close to Golden State. Wouldn't even be close. I'm just gonna be honest, because
No, they would.
And no, John, they wouldn't. If we was healthy and nobody got hurt, we're talking about one of the best big threes we've ever played in the game of basketball. We're talking about a 7-footer in Kevin Durant, Jonathan, that can score anywhere on the court. We're talking about Kyrie Irving, and as much as we criticize him, like I said, we criticize him off the court, not on the court. Kyrie Irving is a guy that can go for 35 to 40 in a given night. We know that, and we all know who LeBron James is. Just call a spade a spade. If that big three teamed up, they will be the heavy favorite to win the championship next year.
I don't know. I think the Lakers and the Warriors are the two that can separate themselves from everybody else. I think they'll be in a tight race for the one and for at number 1 and number 2. And then, of course, you'll have your Memphis Grizzlies, your Dallas Mavericks, and, the Clippers and all those other guys out west. But, no, I think it would be a tight race between Golden State
The
and
only thing I can trust the Clippers with is that edge up right there, my boy, and I need to go meet some. That's the only thing.
Well, the day they choked on spicy nuggets, I told my barber I had to cancel my appointment because I didn't trust in the Clippers that day.
Let me be the one that will respect the world champions. I'm going to respect the world champions and say that they will be the number 1 seed, but check me out here. It'll be by default. The reason why it'll be by default is for the first time if Kyrie is here, if he comes, the plan that we've been hearing about for the last 2-3 years will finally happen. And that is simply LeBron will get rest. Because let me tell y'all something. Kyrie Irving can put 50 on you. And LeBron will be able. I'm already saying LeBron will adjust his game to be the lead and assist man in the league. He's not going to be trying to score 30 like he did last. He had to. He will turn that over to Kyrie and, of course, AD if he's healthy, of course. He's going to get some rest this year. The games that he does not play, the Lakers will still be the favorites in most of those games because Kyrie and AD, if AD is not in street clothes, of course, if he's there, that is going to be enough to win a lot of ball games. The Lakers don't care nothing about when you got them big three. If LeBron is rested when playoff time comes, long as they 1-4, nobody will want to see them in a 7-game series. LeBron is not fit to play 82 games a year with Kyrie there. He's going to play somewhere between probably 65 to 74 games. He's going to get that rest that he needs. Matter of fact, I'm just going to tell y'all, in a very reverse type way, if LeBron is healthy, if these guys can stay healthy, and it's a big if, but if they can, we may be seeing probably one of the greatest seasons for LeBron James ever. That's all I'm going to say about it because, yeah, I'm going that route. Because I'm telling you, he is everybody want to compare him to Michael Jordan. He was never Michael Jordan. The comparison should have always been compared to Magic Johnson. That is the comparison to LeBron James. It's never been Michael Jordan. He is Magic Johnson. And if he gets to play the Magic Johnson role, look out. That's all I'm going to tell you.
And
I was thinking just now, Doug, like I can see him playing more of like a souped up Draymond role. Just more production, but same kind of role. Facilitate, grab some boards, push the offense, but kind of stay out the way, let the young guys eat.
Mm-hmm. And then one last thing. Keep an eye out. I've been seeing reports of Thomas Bryant. I think he's trying to wait to see what this Kyrie KD trade is going to do. But he, the Lakers do have interest, and he have interest. I believe it's out of him in Boston. What I'm seeing, but if I believe we get Kyrie, we'll be able to get Thomas Bryant, which is another young key piece for this team.
That'd be a great pickup because, like we said earlier, Freddie, he started his career in LA as a young guy, more of an energy player. He left us, got some skills, a lot more mature, physically stronger. That'd be a great pickup for us, especially because we still have Dwight, but I don't know if we're going to re-sign Dwight or not. So we could use a good bid.
No, I've seen a report we're not.
We're not going to keep. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's time.
Yeah, it's been time for him.
We should have kept JaVale McGee. Honestly, I thought we should have kept McGee.
Yes,
I agree.
But fellas, I'm gonna go around the horn one time, but it's been real. Freddie, what you got for the team, man? How you feeling?
Man, oh man, oh man. Scary hours is approaching, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I'm going to say. Scary hours.
Jonathan?
You muted, my brother.
Kyrie to the Lakers in the coming days.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, and before I pass it to Doug, if that comes true, you heard it here first on Lakers One-on-One Talk on ASAP Sports Network, baby. Go ahead, Doug.
Here's my prediction. I've already got a Toys R Us account for the Lakers. A baby Gerber stuff, and I'm sending the package straight to LeBron because he has a job to do other than basketball. We'll call it the LeBron James daycare service, where he has to babysit AD, Kyrie, and whoever else is left. That's what I'm saying. But ladies and gentlemen, look, please understand that never underestimate the power of LeBron James on the court and outside of the court. these conversations that we're having and debating and pointing out have already been done by LeBron James and Kyrie Irving. Please understand that. And if that is the case, there's some assurance to remember. Y'all talking about what he did in Boston, and y'all talking about what he did in Brooklyn. The track record shows he ain't never done it with LeBron James. And he played with him.
Hey, Doug,
No
can I ask you a
problem.
question?
Yo.
Do you still have those phone numbers on speed dial that you mentioned last week?
Say what now?
Do you still have those phone numbers on speed dial that you mentioned on last show?
I got them, but I'm trying to kind of hold it back right now, just trying to see how this point out. But I've already started, like Valdez said. Look, I've already making the connections with daycare services. I'm doing all that right now. Exactly. I'm setting up the register now because LeBron James will have a mighty hat that he's never really had before on his team. He is really gonna have to be the one to keep this thing together because Kyrie has a few more screws that have been loose. If he say the word flat, let him say that. Just get on the court and play ball and let's roll. That's all
So
I'm
one
saying.
last question, Phil. I promise. Last question. So
No,
if
you're good.
LeBron's able to do that next year, Doug, and everything go good, he should automatically win MVP. Correct?
I believe LeBron. Yeah, I believe he should be the NBA Man of the Year. If there's such an award, I think he ought to be the NBA GM of the Year. Yeah, because I believe that he should be the MVP, the most valuable player. I believe that even if he don't get enough votes, he should be the captain of the All-Star team. I believe he should get all that, man. He should be everything that the NBA ought to, because he's going to have, I'm serious, he's going to have a job that he never had before, and he's well able to do that. I'm just saying, he can do that. He may be the only person in the league that can do this, and he's done it before. He'll do it again. So I'm just praying for the brother. He could have a problem, but he can handle it.
You brought something to my mind, Doug, man. This is my last point. But one of the greatest NBA travesties is the lack of MVPs LeBron James has won throughout his career. That man arguably averages one of the greatest seasons every single year for his entire 20-year career. And how many MVPs do you have to show for it? But that's a topic for a different day. Once again, this is Lakers Talk 101. We appreciate the comment section. We had a great time interacting with you all. Don't forget, if you like our show, please like us, share us, and subscribe to our channel. We're on Roku TV. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. Please follow us everywhere. Again, on the ASAP Sports Network, we're Lakers Talk 101. I'm your host, Bill Tross. Our panel today was Freddie, Big Time Doug, and Jonathan Mathis. Please tell them where they can find you guys at. Go ahead, Doug.
You can find me on the All Sports All Plays Network. Just about any show over here. You never know. I'll pop in and I'll pop out. I love doing the show with these gentlemen. I honestly look forward to doing this show with each and one of you guys. You guys are amazing. The best Lakers show there is out there, and we represent.
100.
You can find me right here.
Close. Go ahead. Y'all stop looking around. Y'all know I'm a close. Go ahead.
Now you guys can find me right here at the ASAP Network. I'm on a number of shows on this network. You guys can also find me on Twitter. You guys gonna find an unhappy Jonathan over there. He's about to rant about these Dodgers blowing a 1-0 lead, bottom of the ninth. I know, tragic. But you can find me there, and you can find me on Instagram as well, Sports Judge 85. And you can find me on Facebook. I have a fan page. It's called The Sports Judge.
Look, y'all see that name right there above my head? I'll make it very simple for you. Is that it? The Big Time Show podcast. This is what I need you to do to make it very easy, very simple. Just go to YouTube and go and just subscribe to that. I primarily talk about the Lakers, and my primary thing is the Dallas Cowboys. So that's what I talk about on closed ears, Freddie. Don't start.
I couldn't hear that last word. I had to cover
it. Controversy. Just calm down. But go to YouTube, become a subscriber to that. And then if you come, I'll tell you everything else. If you want to go to Twitter, it's real simple. At Big Time Lou. At Big Time Lou. That's where you have to do it. And of course, this is a pretty good panel here. I'm sorry my other brother wasn't here tonight because I know he would have had something to say. Mario, if I'm not mistaken. Man, he been calling this for a while, so he would have had a chance to shine tonight. And we would all had to bow to his feet because he saw this coming. And I can't wait to hopefully when we have the next show, hopefully this thing may be done. And we'll just I'm gonna sit back and just let him gloat because he said it was gonna happen. And I can't wait to see it. But ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of and Phil gonna close us out, but on behalf of Jonathan and Freddie, the owner of the All Sports All Plays Network, let me tell y'all this. Whenever y'all see us, it's real simple. The crowd goes wild.
And once again, you can find us at the All Sports All Plays Network. It's been real, fellas. Peace out.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.